mosque is everything to the Muslims.
It would be devastating if this place was not here.
This is a place where you're filling up your bags.
In what sense?
You're filling up your bags for another life. You know, we come here, we all go to work, we all get on the treadmill, we all do what we need to do, but we begin to realise, some of us earlier than others, that in truth they're just transitory. You know, we'd have to do those things to live, but the mosque is the place where when you come here, you get extra for your shopping bags. You get extra things in there. You hear things, you talk to people, not necessarily just about your faith. You talk to people about all sorts of issues that they have had, good and bad, and every little bit adds to you because you hear them, you pick up things. Sometimes you don't even know you've picked it up, but you do. And at some stage, that becomes a useful thing. Maybe not immediately, but at some stage, most things do.
A mosque would mean a place of worship, place of prayer, but if it becomes an Islamic center, it would mean having other extra activities as well, such as community activities, such as celebration and Muslim events.
Spiritual prayer, marriage ceremonies.
They played a central role. They were the community centre.
That would mean children's activities.
Help and shelter for homeless.
Everything that we do basically that is both social and spiritual, all these are done in the mosque by the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So a mosque is expected to perform this function.
A mosque or masjid in Arabic is dedicated to the worship of God, in particular the 5 daily congregational prayers known as Jama'ah. The 5 daily prayers or Salah in Arabic are spread out throughout the day, starting at Fajr near dawn, then at Dhuhr just after midday, following that in the afternoon, Asr, another at Maghrib just after sunset, and finally Isha around nightfall. When it is time for prayer, the adhan, call to prayer, is announced, and Muslims prepare by performing a ritual ablution or wudu in Arabic. Mosques provide the facilities for this. On Fridays, the Jumu'ah, the great congregation, takes place, with imams giving sermon or khutbah to the community, sometimes in their native language and other times in English.
Majority of the mosques already have children's activities, children's supplementary classes. But to have a sports hall, to have a gym, to have wedding ceremonies in a mosque, not every mosque has that capacity. The mosques that do have that capacity, more or less, are the bigger centers. They usually have their name as Islamic center.
A mosque could offer many things to its community. However,
It's not for the local community to engage with the mosque, it's vice versa. It's for the mosque to engage with the local community.
We are all of different cultural backgrounds. Some people didn't understand what we're doing. We try to tell them that activities involves bringing the children, taking them out of the streets, to inculcate in them the religion of peace, which is Islam. That they should stop, they should not engage in any form of gun crime, any form of crime, drug abuse, anything. We have these vocational activities going on here to educate them and inculcate in them what a good society should be and how they should parade themselves as ambassadors of Islam. We should not be associated with anything that we do not believe in, which is or any crime of any sort.
The whole street thing, we've all been part of it. Not necessarily good things. We've all been part of gangs, we've all been part of roads and things that are against the ruling of this country. However, we've now, God is good, all praise is due to him, and come away from that. And the reason, the basis is here. If it weren't for here, we believe that we wouldn't have been able to come out of that.
Is the classes for both boys and girls?
The classes is for both girls and boys.
What age groups?
And the age group is starting from 5 years up to elders group.
We are under NASFAD, and what we do is we gather around youths, people from 15 above, we put them together, we educate ourselves, we do some services like we visit sick people, we do some social services, we'll bring in lecturers.
Did you also participate with when Napoleon came over from America?
Yes, I actually organized the evening. Yeah. Everybody really enjoyed it, and I think everybody learned one or two things from what he came to say.
Allah says in the Quran, every soul shall taste death. Everything that I was going through, every question that I wanted in my life, the answer was in the Quran. Alhamdulillah, I was able to accept the religion of Islam, and eventually I was able to walk away from the music industry with my life, with my honor, with my mind.
I know it's a lot of strange stuff that happened in the music industry. I would definitely look back and say, man, that's the business of the shaitan, no doubt about it.
In an effort to reach out to the young, Napoleon visited 5 mosques in 1 week in Sabak.
This is not what the religions invented. This is the religion of Islam. This had nothing to do with
it. Turned out to be a very successful week as it helped to strengthen the relationship between the local authorities and the local mosques, while having a real impact on the young.
It made my eyes open up a bit, like, to reality, you know, like someone who came from a struggle like that. And I know a lot of people who are, you know, contemplating some of the things he spoke about.
Yeah, he should come back many more times.
When I saw someone who done what 50 Cent does, what Soulja Boy does, and he tells me that he doesn't feel happy about it, that's when I see the truth.
We are very happy to work with the Sadaq Council. We are very happy tonight what they are supplying us, and we feel that more Somalian young people, they will benefit that things. If they see the other brother tell them this experience or that, they will benefit.
Good. One just in one breath. The NHS can help support someone who's trying to stop smoking by...
Work of performing real and valuable social function is supported by external agencies such as the NHS and the Sabak Council.
We just started for stop smoking programs.
So, when I ask you to take a deep breath and hold it.
Sadiq mentioned they send us how they want to set up. We get about 7 people who came, contact, we checked it, we test everything, they happy to stop smoking. When we redirected them to the NHS in Sadak, some of them says, oh no, I have no time, but they're happy to come here.
Doing work to help the community. My job is community engagement.
Definitely.
Officer, so there must be some connection there.
Yeah.
We have to get away from being lock-up shops.
I think a big problem with the mosques in this country is the fact that they've turned into places where you just go and pray.
Mosques are not just to come and pray. Yes, there is that function, but they should come, pray, they should socialize there, they should learn their religion there, they should engage with the local community there, and it plays a fundamental role.
The Model Mosque competition, run by Islam Channel, wants to showcase the best mosque of the 1300 in the country, but taking their inspiration from the example of the Prophet Muhammad.
You have to look at the mosque's role in the Islamic area. When the Prophet ﷺ was around, they played a central role. They were the community center. That's where you would go and socialize, that's where you would go and find your religious knowledge. So it plays a very vital role, and it's fundamental, and I believe it's fundamental that the mosques play a central role. Otherwise, I feel that society will start breaking up.
As the mosque is central within the community, so is the role of the imam within the mosque.
The word of Imam is the leader, is even the leader, but Imam have to subject himself. The only leader is Allah.
Our Imams are our leaders, they are our role models, and they help us in our everyday life, with our religious activities as well as our upbringing. They give us good advice how to work better for the Muslims and how to better work with the non-Muslims.
It performs a lot of functions, and one of them is leading the prayer. And also, as an imam, he has to take care of all his followership. He has to take care of the mosques. Imam is like a president of the mosques.
Professor Noiby described it as being a bit like the satellite navigator system in your car, that you're working as the imam, you're kind of trying to lead people home.
The imams do work as a job, as a very honorable job.
I've been imam since 1989, so this is my 22nd years of being the chief imam, while I was deputy for 4 to 5 years.
I came to the UK in 2006 for education purposes, and then completed another university degree. Nowadays I'm trying to work academically to do masters in international relations.
There is a problem of some imams who come into the UK who do not fully understand the British culture or are able to speak the language.
The imams, some of them do not speak English so well. This is another barrier. As with any area, if the language is not the same, it is a hugely difficult task to express oneself, and that might be a downfall as well.
We would really like his imams if they have the choruses in English, because the people in here, even Somalian people, it's easy to them to speak English, and Somali is English easy for them.
We have other barriers as well, in terms of not everyone's on the same tune, or shall I say, the same wavelength. Some have been brought up in their own countries back home, and others are adapting newly in this country. Other imams have recently arrived, and there are some who are well versed in the culture and the dimension this country holds. So it is difficult to adjust the one who's come newly to this country and the imam who has been here for decades.
Dear brothers and sisters,
in Islam there is no papal figure. Therefore, one of the requirements in the Islamic tradition is that the imams have a grasp of local culture so that they are able to fully serve their community.
Those who were very intolerant people against Islam. The word tolerance means to bear. As a concept, it means respect, acceptance, and appreciation of the rich diversity of the world's cultures, forms of expression, and ways of being human.
I may have a view, others will have different views. Others have certain views. Actually, I would not agree to that imams who've come from a different background would not be able to serve in this country.
Many imams are brought over to the UK from other countries due to lack of Islamic scholarly knowledge available in Europe.
They are doing a wonderful job. They are learning. They are at the forefront. They lead their communities, and they know best how to do that.
In order to answer this question, I would like to give real examples that occurred in the time of the last messenger of Islam.
It would have helped if the imams were able to speak proper English, the way our children, the way we speak. It would have helped if the imams did cooperate a lot more with other community activities, but that does not mean the imams are backwards in any way. Rather, they are at the forefront, and they will remain at the forefront, especially in my heart.